Pumpkin, don't come in. Call your mommy. She will know what to do. Please, please, don't go in the garage. It's off limits. Love, Daddy.
When Bob returned from his second tour, he found it even harder to reintegrate to civilian life. When he started feeling like his life insurance would give his family more value than his presence, he started to lock up his sidearm and ammo separately. When the threat tried to kill him with carbon monoxide, it failed, barely. As he resumed his receiver training, he began to realize how important he was to his family and how hard it was to almost lose him. He started to see how deeply connected he was to his web of reality, no matter how alone he felt, and how painful it would be for everyone if the threat tore him out of that web. He learned to see the value in being a stay-at-home dad, and eventually wrote a popular book on the subject, drawing funny and insightful comparisons between parenting and soldiering. I would have just... I'm so sorry. I've always been such a disappointment. I would have just kept getting more pathetic. I can't stand to be a burden on you any longer. I hope one day you can forgive me. I love you. I'm sorry. Rich was starting to think about death a lot after the sudden death of his sister. He loaned his sidearm to a friend because he was worried that he would be possessed by the threat. He was right to be worried. The threat took control of his body and drove him to the Golden Gate Bridge. He was breathing in the foggy air, about to let go, when two officers grabbed him. Now, later, when he progressed further in his receiver training, Rich started to see that he had never been a burden on anyone. Humans have a fundamental need to help one another, and by gracefully accepting the help that he needed, he allowed his friends and family to fulfill their own needs to feel useful and appreciated. It took him years of slow improvement and cultivating healthy habits, but he eventually found that he had repaid all of the kindness and support that he had ever received, and then some. I can't take this meaningless existence anymore. There's no point to anything. We're just killing time until the heat death of the universe. Nobody will remember us. Nobody cares if I live or die. All of humanity is just mold on an orange. I don't even know why I'm writing this. Goodbye. Jenn had been told her whole life that science proves that everything is random and humans are insignificant accidents, tiny motes of consciousness in a cold, endless sea of hard vacuum. After she was rejected by her first choice school and her backup, the threat tried to kill her with a razor blade. While the scars healed, she learned the hidden truth. While science allows us to manipulate our world of shadows in reality B, it tells us nothing about our core existence in reality A. Just as atoms combine to form molecules, and molecules combine to form cells, and neurons combine to form your mind, our minds combine to form humanity, and humanity combines to form the highest concentration of information in the known universe. In reality A, we are all part of the same radiant tapestry. That is where our true meaning lies. Now, Jenn eventually found her calling as a psychologist, specializing in the study and treatment of existential depression. Every single day is the worst day of my life. It just keeps getting worse and worse. Every day, I step over junkies and human waste on my way to my third job, just to make a dent in my mountain of debt. The planet is dying. The rich own everything. We keep killing each other for no reason. I'm ashamed to be a part of this world. I give up. Even though everything seemed to be going well in his life on paper, John could feel the color and taste bleeding from the world, and knew that he was under attack from the threat. He temporarily pawned his sidearm so that it couldn't be used against him. The threat poisoned him, but did not quite kill him. His hospital experience gave him some perspective that allowed him to make a breakthrough in his receiver training. John realized that small ups and downs look like mountains and valleys from close up, but if you zoom out, you can see that peace, nutrition, health, and freedom have been improving throughout the entirety of recorded history, and with hard work we can make sure that trend continues. As hard as the threat tries to destroy us, the receivers have successfully defended humanity until now. He got involved in local politics and found that while we can't avoid hard times, we can make sure we come out of them stronger than we were before. Yeah, I tried to tell you. I tried to get support. I did everything they said I should. And it didn't work. It didn't work. This is all your fault. All of you. I hope you all finally understand what you did to me and hate yourselves for it. See you in hell. When Greg's anger started to build after a humiliating rejection, he asked one of his friends to change the code on his gun safe so that the threat couldn't get to them. When the threat controlled him and tried to get the code back to take revenge on the world, his friend refused, and they fought and were arrested. When Greg resumed his receiver training, he learned to direct his anger back towards the threat where it belonged, and how to channel that energy into reshaping his life and defending against the mind kill. He took up parkour as a hobby and found that moving his body really helped calm his mind. He eventually started a successful business teaching parkour to children, rebranding playgrounds to appeal to the next generation.